They buried me in the water and I came, I knew. Ha ha. Now I'm baptized in blue.
I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got gritty. I'm a warrior, just been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior, just been baptized in blue.
What's up, fam? Welcome to another podcast episode with me, your host, Autumn Clifford. So today what we're going to talk about, it actually came in the form of an email. So I've been getting a lot of DMs and emails, people wondering if I'm reading what you're sending me. And I just want you to know the answer is always yes. I read everything that comes through. My team does get emails and does respond back to some things, but for the most part, you are getting in touch with me. If I don't respond back, it's probably because it got lost in the shuffle, or I'm going to be creating content, a podcast, a video for it. So you can always shoot me another email, but just know that I do read everything that comes through. So if you are having problems, you want like a question addressed, you want a situation addressed, just feel free to email me, autumn@autumnclifford.com, or you can shoot me a DM on Instagram @officerautumn. So that's what today's episode is it comes directly from an email, and it's a female officer facing a situation with another female officer at her police department. She's not really respecting this other female officer, and she's like, what the heck do I do about it? So that's what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, before we dive in, I have a couple of things we have to talk about first. So the first thing is I need to tell you about the sponsor for this episode. It's called Craft Holsters. You can go check them out on Instagram. And what they are is they're a European company. They use European leather and stitching, very high quality Italian, and the stitching is from Germany. And they make these holsters. Some of them you can get custom made, which I've shared on my stories. Very cool. But here's why I love them for us is they have bags that are actually sealed carry bags. They look like purses, and they also have regular bags. So that's why I like them for us. Check them out right on the show notes in the below. I'm going to post their Instagram and their website, and they're all over my Instagram stories. And we're going to be doing a giveaway this week. So go make sure you enter for your chance to win one of these bags. It's very cool. The second thing I want to talk to you about is the She's an Asset Mastermind is opening up. And this is never been done before. This is completely brand new, but it's so needed. It's a 3-month experience, essentially. It's every single week you're going to be getting training. Every month you're going to be having the opportunity to meet with your instructors. The topics that you are going to be learning every month, it's you're going to be focusing on shooting, combatives, and building a confident command presence. And every single week you're going to be getting training on those topics. And at the end, you're going to be getting a certificate that you've completed it. But not only that, like you are going to transform in 3 months. It's designed specifically for the female first responder, a current one or a future one. And I'm telling you that it's going to be insane. I've brought in 2 experts who are just phenomenal at what they do. And it's under $200 for 3 months. Okay. Just one payment under $200, or you can do a payment plan. But I'm telling you this because the cart opens on Monday. And the reason this is a big deal is we can only take a certain amount of women. So once this is filled up and you can't get in. Okay. So I'm telling you right now, if this even slightly interests you, you need to make sure you're on my email list, because on Monday morning, I'm going to be sending out an email saying, hey, who's coming in? The mastermind is open, and you're going to want to make sure that you've secured your seat for that. We start on June 29th with a kickoff call with all of your instructors. So pay attention to that. Okay. And how you get on my email list is you go to the show notes, and you're going to see like there's free trainings, or you can come into my Facebook group. Either way, you just have to give me your email and I will put you on there. So that's how you do that. Okay. So let's dive on in, because I'm sure that you can relate to a situation just like what this female officer is going through. it's not easy to, be in law enforcement. It's not easy to be a woman in law enforcement. And it's certainly not easy when we see our coworkers, being less than what we feel like a respectable officer could be. So in this situation, this woman was really good friends with this female officer, and this female officer's developed a reputation for herself, unfortunately. She has slept with multiple people, some in the agency, some around the agency. It's a smaller agency. The area is small, so everybody knows everybody. And now she's really starting, to hang and put her hooks in, or as she said, to like a married coworker, and she's just saying, she's like, it's like crazy. She's like, I just don't know what to do, because I told her, like, I can't even fuck with you until you figure it out. And I want to just say, like, I can relate to this on a level. I did work with a woman who, she's a police officer, and she ended up marrying a guy at our police department, and but like, she developed this reputation, and I don't really know what's true and not. And I can just say, I just want to say this. I just want to preface this with, there's a lot of times that we as women, we get these reputations. Your girl fucking had that happen to her and it was wrong. I wasn't doing what everybody thought that I was doing, but it gets misinterpreted because of certain reasons. And the biggest reason is because we want to fit in so badly, but we're not doing it the right way. The right way would be to like take fucking trainings and become so fucking squared away, like the She's an Asset mastermind that's opening up, become so squared away at your shootings, your combatives, your mindset, and become such an asset that you fit in that way because you're an actual asset to the agency because of the skills that you have harnessed and built yourself. That is how we fit in. But what happens, that's like, that's hard. So what people do is they try to fit in by being liked, and it can look different. It can look differently for everybody. It's unfortunate to hear about another, female officer, unfortunately, doing these things, although it's not uncommon. We've all been in situations, and we've all been there and done that. And I do want to just say, like, as a woman in law enforcement, we tend to want to be with a man in law enforcement. If you're anything like me, who I'm super alpha, like, and so I can't, I've been with type B men, and I just can't do it. I just cannot fucking do it. They do. So for me, that is attractive. And so when you are a female cop, like, yeah, you're probably going to fuck a bunch of cops, right? Like, straight up. Now, here's the deal. As a woman in law enforcement, like, we need, as a woman, this isn't just a fucking woman in law enforcement. I mean, this is just a woman, as a person, like, we need to have morals. We need to oblige by those morals and standards. And we need to, we really need to stand by them. And you get to make up what your own boundaries are and not cross them. And I just think that that's really important. The mindset coach in me wants to share with you that if you are, in fact, banging a bunch of men, if you are going after married men, if you have done what this female officers described her coworkers doing with several different men, all these different guys, especially in the areas that it's close to like where they work. What I want to tell you is you are searching on the outside of yourself for what you need to be looking for from within. You are searching to be loved. You are searching to fit in. You are searching to like yourself. And we all do that. And we try to have people on the outside make us whole. But the truth is no career, no person, no nothing is going to make you whole except you. So if you find yourself in this situation, you need to take a fucking good hard look in the mirror and really ask yourself, what is it that you're searching for with all these people that you're sleeping with, or even just in intimate relationships with? Maybe you're not banging them, but you're fucking around with them, or whatever, and all the flirting that you're doing. Why? And just get real. And this is hard talk. This is shit that I had to go to therapy. I mean, fuck, I have a therapist, and these are the conversations that we've had, because it's not like normal to go and like bang a bunch of guys or girls, even men with girls. Listen, fuck, we know cops are the worst. Doesn't matter what gender. We know, and a lot of that's numbing. A lot of it is numbing pain. But again, it's trying to fill holes. So if you're the female coworker who emailed me and she's like, she used to be my friend, but like I can't even fuck with her, and like, now what do I do? Well, the answer is like you have to go within yourself and you have to ask yourself, like, okay, so why are you so upset by this? Why are you so triggered by this? That would be my first question. Okay, so now, is it triggering to you because in high school, like, you had friends that were like this, and you developed a really bad reputation just by hanging out with that friend, and like you never want to go back? Is it triggering to you because you've worked to overcome your emptiness and not be like this? Is it triggering to you because you've been her? Like, get real. Why the fuck is it triggering to you? Ask yourself that. And then when you're clear on that, then you can go and be like, okay, so like, what do I want out of this friendship? Do I actually want to be friends outside of work with her? Or do I just want a professional relationship with her? And if it is, then you just keep it professional. You don't got to get into the whole, you and I aren't going to be friends and we're not hanging out. And you don't even got to fucking get into that. It's very professional. Be busy. Be busy enough so that she can't come up to you car to car. You be so busy focused on yourself, you just don't have time for it. And you be very nice. There's no reason for you not to be nice unless she starts fucking with your man, right? But like, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I have handled situations like this differently, but I'm telling you, as a woman who is now 32 years old, who has, I have lived, quite a bit of life, have done, a lot of things, and have seen things. What I would tell my younger self who is dealing with a situation is exactly what I'm telling you. We get really, really quick to judge people, especially in law enforcement, because that's how we survive. And we get really quick to judge people, but we have no idea what they're going through. So it doesn't necessarily mean you got to go burn a bridge, is what I'm getting at. I'm just telling you, you got to 360 it. Doesn't mean what she's doing is okay. Doesn't mean you got to like her. Of course you've lost respect for her. And it depends on how intimate the relationship is between you and her. And when I say intimate, I don't mean sexually. I just mean like, how close are you? Like me and my best friend, I could fucking tell her, you are acting like a slut. This is making me feel uncomfortable. So until you change that, I'm backing off. We've had conversations like that, okay? Because she's my best friend and we can go there together. I don't know if in this situation you can go there with her and say, hey, listen, I'm not trying to fucking make you feel like you're an asshole, but like you're just making me really uncomfortable because this is what is going on, or this is what it's being perceived that's going on. And honestly, I don't want to be around any of it. And if you there's no harm in being truthful. Here's where people get fucked up though, is when you start like pointing the finger at them, belittling them, making them feel like making them wrong. We can't take responsibility for anybody else's feelings. Like how I make you feel is on you, and how you make me feel is on me. Like that's the truth. But if I'm sitting here saying you are a slut, you are a piece of shit, you are bringing this whole agency down. Well, that's stupid. Like, we don't need to do that. Okay. That's completely old school mentality. I'm sure we all work for supervisors like that currently, or we have. Like, we don't need to be like that. What we can do and how to mitigate this problem is just by simply, if you feel like you are at the point where you want to express how you feel and she comes to you, she's like, hey, like, why are we really distant? Why aren't you paying attention to me? Why are things changed between us? Then this is the conversation that you can have with her. Does that make sense? Like, hey, You're just not making, like, things are making me feel uncomfortable. I don't really like what I'm hearing. I don't know what's true and what's not. For my perception, it seems like the rumors are true. I don't like it. It's making me feel uncomfortable. So until like you clear that up or like you approach things a little differently, like I'm good. Like I'm good. And I, we cannot be in control of how everybody else is going to react. We can only be in control of ourselves. Does that make sense? So I hope that this was helpful. It's different for everybody, but this to me is a really good way to problem solve, and not only just this situation, but many different situations. The worst thing, is we as a society don't always know how to communicate. I can tell you that I didn't grow up in a household that fucking communicated. This is a skill that I've had to learn, and being a coach has made me a 10 times better communicator, and I still have a ways to go. I still study it all the time. But like the biggest thing is we are so quick to judge one another and put blame on one another, and then like put blame on like how you're making me feel like this. It's like, no, you're feeling a certain way. I'm not pointing the finger at you. I'm not calling you names. Like, I'm not disrespecting you. I'm simply telling you how I feel. You can choose to feel certain ways. It's on you when someone's just being respectful. It's different when somebody's like, you're an asshole, you're a slut, you're a bitch. Like, that obviously makes us feel a certain way. But really just trying to talk out problems, it just mitigates so many things. And I'm going to tell you, it gets you prepared to be able to be a real leader in your agency. It gets you prepared. I mean, that this is an oral board question. This is an interview question. Just straight up. Like this issue, totally. They're gonna ask you, like when you're sitting on your oral board to go be a corporal or a sergeant or a lieutenant, like whatever, like they're gonna ask you, have you ever had like issues with your coworkers, and then what did you do to solve those issues? So just be thinking a little bit ahead as well. This is getting you set up. So just remember, these obstacles are always detours in the right direction. Always. And that's a quote from Gabby Bernstein. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions at all, shoot me a DM. Roll up in on my email list, on my emails. Make sure you are on my email list for the She's an Asset Mastermind. Again, it's unlike anything you've ever seen. It's going to be a training you don't want to miss, I promise. All right. I'll see you next time.